2, 3, 4. And what this means is that cuts are really thrusts. We just prepare them as a dough cut. So now, keeping the arm in front of me and cutting from the wrist, I bring it back and 1, 2, 3, 4. And this allows me to be very precise with the point. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Yeah, Sean, if you want to come around. Thank you for doing this. So I'm attacking here, and you can see, right, there's full extension of the arm, all the way point to shoulder. I'm turning at the wrist, keeping the hilt in front of me. Full extension, point to shoulder. Back here, full extension, point to shoulder, and all the way around to 4. Full extension. Right? If we come on the side here, one of the things that's crucial with this, thank you, Sean, is that that point goes behind me every time that I'm crossing one side of the body to the other. I am never allowed to flop over, right? Because, of course, that's more the human being, right? And with intention, if I'm intending to cut with this edge, it would do me no good to hit him in the side of the head with the flat of the blade. I want to do something lethal, right? Thank you. We're going to talk about video of doing this technique solo. So we're going to do a number of them. We're going to put them all on. Still goes through that good parry position. And there, or. So I just roll through it, right? It's still a true edge parry, has every structural thing that would stop the opposing blade. I just continue to move. Right? So that's doing beat parries. If I'm doing a bind, I stop them. First, it's not part of a bind. The parry is not part of the bind. However, if you don't do the parry, you're really not going to bind. So if I stop them in parry 3, now I've stopped them. I'm not going to take their blade to the inside of my body, except that I'm going to make it go away at the same time. Right? So I stop them, and then I turn the hand. So I parry in 3, hand is in pronation. I'm going to end up in supination. Same thing on the opposite side. If I stop them in 4, my hand's in supination. I'm going to end in pronation on the other side. Stop them in supination, bind and extend, ending in pronation. Stopping in 3, hand in pronation. I'm going to finish in supination. If I parry 1, the hand is more or less in pronation. So after I take their blade over my body, I'm going to end up in supination at the end. So I stop them first, bring it over my head, and then end in supination. And if I start in 2, again, I can't do it from this position, so there's a little moment of adjustment to get to this position. Now the hand is more or less in supination. I take their blade over my head and extend, ending in pronation. So I parry, I get under them, lift the point over my head, and full extension at the end, right? When you're doing an envelopement, right? So on the binds, your hand is going to be in the reverse. On the envelopement, it's going to stay the same. I stop them, I keep their blade offline, right? But I'm taking, their blade is here the whole time, right? And it moves around just a little bit over here, but I don't drag their point across my body. I've stopped them, I extend and make a circle with the point. Right? Hand stays in supination the entire time. Right? I parry 3. Same thing. The hand is going to stay in pronation the entire time. I'm pushing them away from my body and then gathering them back. Right? And if I'm in the line of 2, this is where you're going to be tempted to turn the hand, right? Pronation the entire time. A lot of folks are tempted to do this and then come back here, and that just lets them kill you. And in 7, and we don't do this very often here. Right, and that's the envelopement. It's bind envelopment. We talked about beat parries, and I'm trying to think of what else. That's good for now. We'll talk about video of doing this technique solo. So we're going to do a number of them. We're going to put them all in one big video, and then, yeah, so you'll have to see the whole thing, but you guys can scroll forward. So let's start with, so if I'm parrying, right, this is the center line, this is the midline, I have to cross one of those lines, right? We're all well familiar with parrying. If I'm going to do a beat parry, it still goes through that good parry position. And there. Okay, so a normal beat parry is a parry of desperation. So Sean's attacking here. Thank you, Sean. I'm going through and I'm going sideways. It's not a good parry. I mean, it goes through a good parry position, but it just continues on, and that's not good, right? A flying parry is a controlled version of the same thing. And rather than going this way, I am going behind myself. I'm turning and articulating the edge. The true edge is now going backwards, and then I'm able to bring my point back to bear. You can see his point is still there, but the energy's been diffused, and he's going to have to worry about my counterattack. So the flying parry in 4 goes like so. The point goes well behind me, right? In the line of 3, it's a little bit of a different trajectory. Actually, go ahead and turn off the tape. Okay, so again, if Sean's attacking, thank you, Sean. Sean's attacking, and I'm doing a beat parry of 3. I'm going through a good parry position, but I continue on my way, right? Not good because I'm going past that, and you can see, you can just correct his point, right? So that's not particularly successful for me. This, though, is a flying parry in 3, right? And I'm sort of popping it out of the way, right? It's a different action. The 1 and 4, the true edge is facing back, and a little bit on this one, but not as much because I can't articulate my hand that way. And the continuing action does not continue to go past. It goes back, but the point kind of circles in the air, and it circles counterclockwise. So, like so. You can see I'm ready to counterattack fairly quickly with that, right? So it goes again. Through a good parry position, makes that little circle, and then does something. Any action that's going to carry my point sideways is going to bring that point towards my face, right? So the only real safe way to do a beat parry in the low line is a flying parry. That I am deflecting it, again, just like in the high line, deflecting the true edge is kind of catching him here and going back there, right? Like that, right? Same thing in the low line. I'm catching him with the true edge, and then my true edge is now facing backwards as it rolls around, right? Leaving my sword free to act immediately rather than bring that point up into my face. Where we don't do that, right? So pronation, supination, nonation, we do it for this thing. So I'm starting here, and I roll around like so, and that's the inside moliné. Thank you. So the outside moliné, or molinello, it starts here, again in that nonation position, and I roll around. You're going to see a substantial relaxing of the hand as we go. So my hand is firm, and my thumb is on the false edge side, and then it rolls around. And so my hand releases substantially on that. Now if I'm doing this with a rapier, it's a little bit different. Because I'm focusing on where my finger hooks on the pas dame. And on the inside line, it's kind of the same as it is with the saber hilt. But on the outside line, not at all. I'm
Inside.
really just holding on with my index
Outside.
finger and rolling.
Inside.
Cutting downward and
Together.
just keep cutting downward on an imaginary opponent in front of you. Okay, so the inside molinet for the left-hander is here, right? The hand stays in front of me. I'm in no nation, and I just roll that point around. If I go to the outside, there's a substantial release of the hand as it comes back center. And if I it's part of a Chinese broadsword technique. So inside molinet, outside molinet, tuck the sword. Pivot and cut up, up, and back, and forth. So if I'm going opposite, so this is a regular sequence of inside and outside molinet. If I go the other way, I'm cutting upward. So I'm doing descending, inside, outside molinet and tuck. I pivot right where I am. My feet don't move. They just pivot. And now that I'm here, I turn and I cut upwards, upwards, and upwards with the true edge pivoting back at the same time, and back down to here. So, like that, right? Ah, lefty.